I can hear you.
Oh, you sound good.
Good chick.
Chicken chick.
Actually, do you have eye drops? I remembered to ask.
I already put mine in.
Are mine?
No, I think you're fine, honestly. Well, I think you should put them now
I
that you
just
already asked, but yeah.
The dirty sheen from my glasses protect me from really being able to see.
Especially with the big light, you're good.
That's fine.
You're good to go. Well, now we have
You can't
little
see the red of my
glasses
eyes.
sandwich going on, which is great.
Yeah, great. Glasses sandwich sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in the middle of that, but I am.
But you are.
But I
you are
am.
now. I have apartment eye drops and I have car eye drops.
It's honestly invincibility is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, like, if you're feeling stressed about what you've just done before heading into something,
Mm-hmm.
and then you take them, it's like, oh, I forgot what I was even stressed about.
Invincible.
Yeah.
I love Rotos.
Same. Minty fresh eyeballs.
That's a brand.
They burn in
Yeah.
a good way.
Rotos.
The
Just
green
make your
ones are
eyes
my
really
You want
favorite,
that
though.
menthol burn.
Menthol.
The
Yeah.
green ones are the strongest ones, and those burn.
Okay.
Those.
I don't get those.
But
I'm
like,
literally
literally
good.
like
I'm good.
2 minutes, eyes completely white.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
good.
Crystal clear. It's like Crest for your eyes.
Crest.
That's a weird thing to think about. But I get what you mean.
Sponsored
I
by-
get what you mean.
Yeah.
We're sponsored,
Sponsored
by
by
Crest.
Roto.
Sorry.
I'm kidding. We're not.
We're not.
We're not
Be a
at
good
all.
sponsorship contract. You should go for it.
Yeah, actually probably would be
But
pretty.
yeah, Rotos. I recommend Rotos.
Okay.
If you're looking for a good
Try
eye
it,
drop, green Rotos. If you can withstand.
Blue is good, too.
Blue burns as well.
Is
Yeah.
there a non-mentholated
Green
version?
Yeah, the red
burns.
ones.
The red
Okay,
ones,
the
yes.
red one is non-mentholated. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not actually menthol in there. I mean,
No,
it
I
just
know.
makes it
No, no,
feel
no, no.
like you blink and your eyes are cold.
You're like
And it's
minty fresh
wow.
in my brain.
Yeah, it feels good though.
All right, fair enough.
Kind of.
Wakes you up.
Yeah, kind of. It gets you going.
It's like
Honestly, it
smelling
wakes you
salts
back
kind of.
up from your high.
Yeah, it's like,
Like
a
it's like
smelling
a good
salt.
wake up.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're still high, but you're like
Bro, that's
you're
how
more
I
aware.
came to class.
That's fair.
Rotos.
I never
Blue
noticed.
cap.
You know, I never noticed your eyeballs smelling minty or anything.
Well, I hope you weren't noticing
What a
much.
weird sentence that was.
Yeah.
What if they did?
Your eyes smell good.
Well, it's like that adrenaline rush you need, like when the cops show up, when
Yeah,
you're like
yeah.
still
Oh,
drunk,
no.
but you're like aware.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's what
I'm
those
fine.
are.
I'm fine. I'm fine. You're 21. You're okay.
I remember those days.
I still get scared.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'll still get scared. You know, cops aren't usually good news.
They're cops.
No.
I know, but like
Sharks.
whenever you see a cop, it really is just kind of like you're just you're
My blood pressure
anxious. You're
rises.
anxious even though you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You start thinking
Yeah.
back. You're just like,
I
"Fuck,
try to
what did
blend in
That's
as
when-
much as possible.
I have that feeling when a cop gets behind me. I'm doing nothing illegal at all, and I still get an adrenaline response. So then I just think, well, that's the response that I have. So just imagine
The people that
the less
actually have
privilege-
shit people
the
going
less
on.
privilege than
Yeah.
me.
yeah.
That's a big old white male. Like I'll bet you that's a more
It's
intense feeling
terrifying.
for other
Yeah.
people. If that's what I get. Yeah.
It's not just an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
my blood pressure?"
It's just automatic. Yeah.
My blood pressure's
My blood
dangerously
pressure.
high right now.
It's a
I'm
way to
just
live. It's a
driving.
way to live. You're always ready to blow.
Yep.
We ready? Oh wait, I'm gonna tell him some rules really quick.
Oh
Yeah, rules.
First off, we're gonna say our names. It goes Jose, Nick, Jordan. You
It's not a
say,
rule.
"Hey, I'm Dustin." It's not a rule. It's just a thing we do. But he's gonna be like, "I'm Jose. I'm Nick. I'm Jordan." You know, the
You
typical
want me to
podcast
tag
stuff.
on to the?
Yeah. He'll just be like, "And
Alright.
I'm Dustin," and then he'll
Great.
introduce you. And then at the end, I'm gonna tell him about how we. So our thing is, you say, "Stay weird,"
That's
At
the
very,
end.
very
Okay,
end.
good.
but
I like that.
It'll catch
the
you
thing
off guard.
about it is you try to sneak it in. So like when we get towards the end, you'll start to feel it. And so you'll be like, last week it was like, you know, it would be really cool in an anime. And I'll be like, if you stay weird. So like you can sneak it in. So if you
Okay,
sneak it in,
alright.
it'd be hilarious. But I'm just going to
At the
tell you
very
that
end.
as we go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And
Yep.
interesting. That's
Yeah.
kind of a game. I like
It
that.
is. It's fun.
Yep.
So we'll get there.
Okay. All right. I can do it.
There's a theme song going.
Yeah.
Weirdly artistic. Weirdly artistic.
Damn, that's weird. We're back with Nick, Jay, and Jose.
It's weirdly artistic. We're talking art.
We're talking weird and everything under the sun.
Weirdly artistic.
Damn, that's weird.
Weirdly artistic.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Weirdly Artistic, episode 33.
33.
33.
33.
Definitely 30.
33. I am Jose.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Jordan.
And I am Dusty.
And as you can tell, we have a very special guest today,
Heck yeah.
Dustin.
Yeah,
Dustin
hello.
Meehan.
Hello, hello, hello.
How's it going, man?
You know, it's a good day. It's a good day. It's
Yeah.
nice outside. It's good to be here.
Yeah, you said it was the perfect temperature and weather today,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah. Well, you have to think about it from a cinematic standpoint. If you have cloudiness but no rain, it means you have nice, even, perfect lighting in every direction.
And you can add.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can
Good
add,
deal.
it's better.
It's the most manipulative, yeah? Where You
Yeah.
can manipulate it as
You
much
can
as
do anything you want with
post.
this kind of natural light.
Yeah.
You
So-
can control nature.
That leads us into what you do in the industry.
Basically, I've been, working in Seattle. I've been working on film sets, filming, mostly, of course, advertisements and things like that. That's what I'm doing right now. And then I came from I made a little bit of a journey through life where starting in TV news production and then basically switching over to photojournalism, video, photojournalism and editing for a few years, and then going back to school and resetting and deciding to stay in the same media umbrella and then going to film school. And now I'm kind of doing that at the moment, yeah.
There
Okay.
we go.
So how
Chasing the
did
film
you
world.
get started in everything?
In a thing.
What was your...
Like
I-
what
What inspired you? Did you have
'Cause
a
you said
camera
you-
as a kid, or
you
you
earlier
just always
you said,
wanted to film things?
sorry.
Sorry.
These are all
inspiration.
good questions. These are all good questions.
No, but like earlier you said that you started out in news broadcasting. Like
Mhm.
what led you in there?
It really was, it sounds cheesy and stupid, but it really was finding my dad's old film still camera from the 70s in the back of a closet and just literally just opening it and then like seeing this. I didn't know what it was when I was that young. So I was like, what is this? Obviously, I was just looking through shit. So I was looking at, what is this like leather case? I open it and there's this camera in there and I started playing with it. And then I just kind of thought about, ever since I was a kid, I would always want to find, I'm kind of old, but I'm not that old. So we did have video cameras when I was a kid, like the High 8 and the
Yeah.
Mini DV when I got a little bit older. So we would, have a great time making little shorts with friends and doing all that kind of just messing around and bullshit. So I knew I always wanted to do something related to that. And then I just saw the TV news happening in, my small community in the center of Washington and just kind of wanted to get into that game and see what it was like. And I spent a lot of years in that kind of working for NBC basically for news, which has so many different weird facets to it. But I eventually wanted to get out of that just because, well, essentially the pay is fairly low for the most part. And there's also like erratic hours because it's news. You never know what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
It's
And
when
there's-
it's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of PTSD involved. I didn't want to always, I could tell that I was doing things that were going to imprint on my brain if I kept doing these things. So, because when you're a news photographer, there's all the horrible stuff, of course. But, all the stuff you don't want to see or be around, that's what you go to. But also, the dichotomy there is then you're also at a city council meeting or, the
Yeah.
fluffiest stories. Because when you're a news photographer, you do the fluffiest stories and the hardest stories and nothing in between. So that was kind of my life for like a decade or 15 years or so.
Damn.
Was just kind of that game, which sometimes I felt like an ambulance chaser. And I was just like, I can't.
Have you
This
seen
is
Nightcrawler?
stressful. No. And you know what? I've on
Oh.
purpose not seen it
Yeah.
because I'm a little bit frightened too.
It's
PTSD.
it's Jake Gyllenhaal, and he
Yeah.
basically has a video camera, and he finds out that you make a lot of money selling video to
Yeah.
news stations.
Mhm.
And it's
Super
like
good.
the worst wrecks, the murder scenes,
Yeah.
the stuff, and like you
In
can
like
see-
bigger
okay,
cities.
so
It
it's
does,
like
and
just
that does happen in
gruesome.
bigger cities.
yeah, in big cities,
Yeah.
but
With like cell phone cameras and everything, it's pretty common now where if you have some really horrible Shiite, then you can literally sell it to the local affiliate for a certain amount of money, and a lot of people do it. So yeah, I haven't watched that movie. I've heard it's good. And
It's
I
amazing.
I like Gyllenhaal.
it's a 9.2 out of 10.
It's good.
Yeah, I will watch it at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit afraid.
Yeah. No, it's scary.
Yeah.
Like even not being in that world and watching the movie, I'm like, ooh, jeez.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
cutthroat. It's dirty.
And sorry to cut you off earlier, Jordan.
Oh, no.
What was your question?
He answered it.
Oh.
I was like,
Good, good.
any childhood? I was like, did it come from childhood, or did
Yep.
it start
It was
as
when I was
older
younger.
age?
Yeah,
It's
when
always
I-
dad's
I was-
camera.
I was watching like 2020 on the TV, when I was a younger kid, which seems like a strange thing to do when you're like 10, but I liked it. I thought it was interesting. It was
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
It wasn't, it was next level. It was beyond cartoons because it was actually happening in the real world. So it always interested me. Yeah.
I love it.
Love it.
And how did you guys meet, by the way? Like I was actually
College.
curious.
Film school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a great time.
We did.
Yeah.
Cheney is it's a dreamland.
It's an outlaw.
It's a little isolated college town
Yeah, that
where
you
much
call us.
debauchery happens, and then other times of the year it's just like 10 farmers that live there.
Yeah, which is about.
I mean, like, I feel like that's all college towns, though.
Oh, totally,
It really
yeah.
is
Yeah.
just like a handful of locals,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the time it's like the thousands and thousands of just students that
But the
go.
locals
Come
can't
and hang out.
complain about it because it floats their economy
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
than those towns.
They're
usually
pretty
would
much
have.
teachers because they live the September to June
Oh,
life.
God, yeah.
They get
not-
all their income there, and then they get 3 months off.
Yeah,
and
now
they're
that I
like,
think about it, it
Yeah.
really is just like the
they're
teachers.
just teachers.
It's pretty nice.
There's a common conversation on film sets is whether it's worth it to go to film school, whether
No.
it's good to go to film school. So
No.
you say
Well,
no, and I
Yeah,
can
I mean,
understand.
you guys
I
went to
completely
film school
understand that.
together,
Yeah,
like,
we went to the
what
same
do you
film school,
think?
Yeah,
We had
Well,
all the same classes,
yeah, basically.
every single class.
And I understand, and it wasn't very well organized. They didn't have a set. They were kind of changing curriculums as we were going.
It's not even
Seat of the
that.
pants. It wasn't even that.
No, it's more. I enjoyed that because that's
Yeah.
how I live my life. But
Fair enough.
I'm just saying the sense that I could have done it in a year,
Mm.
or maybe even like 6 months, and for far less.
But I want to go the other way, where I would want to flesh it out more and do it for longer and spend more time on stuff. Because it was very like surface level. Because you had a little bit of production, a little bit of
Yeah.
writing, you had a little bit of everything. But I wanted to go deeper on stuff, and they never really did.
Or let us choose.
Yeah.
Did you guys get to go like deep in on like just every single light can and each different one what it does? Like
we
I
were
feel
moving
like-
fast. So the
Yeah.
stuff where we learned about what mics were called and what lights were called and what
It's like
C-stands
2
were called,
days.
that was like 2 days of classes that we just took
2
notes real
days?
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's so surface level.
I watched like a
You
video
take
on,
notes or
on
you're
YouTube,
gone.
and there was it was just one day of a class of like a like somewhere in New York where they were teaching film, and they went
Mm.
through every single little light of like the
That's what I'm saying. You
RE
can do
class,
it for free.
every
at this
single
point.
little light. Yeah, that's also too is like I just watched this video and I was like just super. I'm nerding out. I'm watching them just talk about every single light from every era, just going up. So
But it's
just
also
like,
about
yeah.
learning style because
Yeah.
some people need that
Mhm.
stuff, that shit just.
Well, and some
literally
people need the
itemized to them.
classroom
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is fair.
situation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for me, it's like I wish I could have just learned what I needed to learn and started this way before I did.
So, okay, well, that's fair enough because, but everyone always feels like they want to do something sooner than they did.
Yeah.
That's just life. That's the space.
That's just the way it is.
But I recommend it. I say film school was a good decision for me because it's not the same as the real world, but college never is the same as the real world, is
No.
it?
Yeah.
It
No.
never is. But
I
there's
mean,
still
if I-
experiences
yeah.
there. I still learned plenty.
It's adulthood light. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
When I get to
Easy mode.
Yeah.
when I get to the work now, it's very, you learn a totally different set of stuff. But I do have the basic stuff that I remember, and I think it was worth it just for the experience and just for the fun time. And
Oh, the camaraderie and like
Yeah.
all the things we went through. I would do it again for sure.
I'm also, it might sway my opinion a little bit. I'm a film nerd in the in the classic sense. Like I love old bullshit movies. I love that shit.
Yeah.
So
So
I
that
love
was
the
most of our
theory and I love the
classes.
history,
Yeah, that was like what we did.
So to me, it was totally worth it. I had a great time.
I wish we would have leaned less writing and theory and leaned more production. For me, at
Yep.
least. And that was not an option. It was like they leaned more theory and script writing for our film school, and so that's what you had to do.
Okay.
But like the days that we did production, it was like I know this, like this is what I'm good at. Let's do
Yeah.
this. But it was the one of 3, and the other 2 were very focused on the same
Yeah.
thing.
But you've also got the amount of equipment that you've got. So, say you want to do one specific thing on a film set, and you're in a college situation where you're learning in a production class. Suddenly, you are 8th in line to touch that camera, and you
That's
have to
why I
wait until
always
the
buy my
8th
shit.
take. Yeah, exactly. So, it does. If you want a specific thing, it's better just to go for it. But I would say
Yeah.
do that concurrently.
Yeah.
Because I think there's still lots of good stuff there, but it's hard to get specific experience in a film school.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't like dive. Like I would say we went to level 2 out of 4 on everything. Like you were
Yeah, that's
halfway
right.
there on everything.
Okay.
Like they give you one step closer.
Which is something.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's helped
I
us
retain
a
most of
million
it.
times. Like, yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
it's like, it's just gauging like what you actually want to do. Like it's
Yeah.
just showing you everything
Yeah,
that it
it's-
has to offer, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
just what
showing
college
you a little
is.
bit of
Well,
everything.
yeah. I feel I mean, they have to give you just a certain amount of information because they have to spread it out over so many students. Like you said, the 8th take, if you're excited to
Yeah.
get to touch like one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suddenly you get to touch the black magic, but you've waited an hour and a half and you're just
Yeah.
standing there in the back of the studio. So it's, doesn't feel like the best use of your money, but, you'll get there eventually. But it was a good experience.
That's why I did it the way I did.
Yeah.
made it a lot easier.
I mean, it just seems like you guys are like two like just different thinkings of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Different angles coming at it.
Different
Well, and we were
perspectives.
talking a
Crazy.
little bit downstairs, and he's very much the traditional chase of film for the industry, of the, starting as the PA and just working your way into the industry and working your way into, getting to know people and doing it that way. Whereas we're going to buy the gear and we're going to
Do it.
let's get some clients, and see
the
what
way
happens.
the way of being, basically the difference is you are a production company
Yeah.
and I am a freelance human being. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
it's a
think
very different way of doing things, but they're both valid and they're both fun and they're both, I imagine, they're both terrifying in a way.
I could not do what you do, let me tell you. I'd
s-
choose this every time.
I literally can't do what you do because I
Yeah.
don't think I have that kind of organizational skill.
I'm working on it. We're working on
Working
it.
on it.
Yeah.
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 Well,
That's
here.
the thing about what we do is it's all learning pains. You have people above you to where it's like, hey, this is gonna
there are still learning pains.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, there is with everything that you
Yeah,
do, but yeah, it's like we're just kind of not winging it. We definitely
We got our systems down.
we got our systems
Yeah.
down.
yeah.
but yeah.
You're making it up as you go along to a certain degree.
Oh yeah.
And that's a
Little
cool
bit.
thing to do when
Yeah.
you're able to.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
that's a
weirdly-
luxury. Being able to do that is a luxury. It's
We're
nice.
weirdly artistic.
Yeah, you are weirdly artistic.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what we
We're
are.
breaking our legs so other people can walk.
He said it.
You said it.
And what's been your favorite part?
Of my whole arc,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's interesting. Let's see. I always like when, most of the time, the stuff that I've been doing lately, not the photojournalism, but beyond that, the film set and stuff, most of it has been advertisement, has been stuff like that. But I get to do some things that I enjoy more. I like anything that's fictional, because those are a bit more rare. In Washington
Cool.
State, there's this, how you hear about Georgia and these other places that have huge film tax write-off incentives for all these production companies.
Yeah.
So Washington has a teeny little
10 mil,
kind
right?
of limited. It's 15 mil now.
Oh,
They
nice.
changed it from 5 mil, and then this January, or maybe it was last January this year, it went up to 15 million. But that's a cap.
Film and one.
Yeah, exactly. So we support that and we love it, but it's also not in actual. It's not really competing with other places.
No.
It's because in Georgia it is uncapped.
They pay
It is
actors
100%
Georgia's
uncapped.
uncapped?
It is uncapped.
uncapped.
That's why everywhere films in Georgia. That's why Walking Dead is in Georgia, because there's uncapped tax rates.
Interesting. Okay.
So until
Avengers
Washington
cost
just
$2 billion
Yeah.
to make part 1 and 2.
What other
and it's all-
states are like that, or is
Van-
Georgia
it's
the only other?
Georgia-
Vancouver is the only other one.
Yeah, Canada.
BC.
Okay.
BC.
okay.
but then Vancouver can pass for anything. Vancouver has passed for Seattle so many times because of that.
Oh,
Specifically
yeah.
because
It
of
looks
the
the
tax
same.
breaks.
Looks
Yeah.
the same.
Well, it's gray sky and a bunch of cement everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fine.
And if you need to, go
Houses
down the
and
street
green
for some
trees.
trees.
Yeah.
Yep. There it
Or
is.
and then occasionally they'll be like, no, we need these 3 shots in Seattle. So they'll hire me and they'll hire 30 other people and they'll get those 3 shots in Seattle. That's all it takes.
Okay.
But unless Washington State uncaps that tax incentive, we're never going to be really being the big boys with the proper movies. the
No,
big,
no, no.
Hollywood stuff.
It's going to be commercial.
Yeah, which is fine. I've probably worked for every tech billionaire in the area in various different ways. But the problem with all of this is, of course, that I can't be specific because it's all NDA.
Yeah.
covered.
Oh, yeah. No,
So,
we don't ask any
All
of that.
this stuff, I would love to talk about it, but they contractually tie my hands about it. But that's just how the world is now.
On every single job you've worked.
Most
Or,
there's
like,
some.
what's the coolest job you can talk about if you can?
Well, there's one a nonfiction, a sci-fi short, actually, that I had such a good time working on. There was this boat, it was 110 feet, and it's a machine shop boat from Civil Defense Army era, 1950s, 1960s.
Okay.
So you go onto this boat, and it's moored. There's no engine in it anymore. It's just moored. It's still in the water. It's still floating, but it's at the Seattle Maritime Academy,
Oh my.
and they use it for training. So there was this sci-fi outfit that had been making short films that were getting enough hits online, which I can't remember the name, but we can make that happen. But they got a nice budget to make episodes 4, 5, and 6 of this really cool sci-fi series, basically on this boat. So we
Dude,
spent
that's
a week
awesome.
at the Seattle Maritime Academy on this floating machine shop boat, and it was just such a fun experience. And I learned so much, and I worked for the art department, and I worked for G&E, and I had so many good contacts and such a good time. I still think about it. It was great. So you're always
That's
wanting,
pretty fucking
yeah,
Cool.
you always
It
want
sounds
stuff
like a
that.
fave as well.
Yeah, you always want stuff like that where people are there because they're being artistic.
Passionate about it.
even if they're weirdly artistic, they're still being it.
Ah,
and
he
you
said
want
it.
to be part of
he
it.
said
Ah, he
it.
said it. Oh my God. So those jobs are the ones that you want, the ones that aren't just to sell wine or jewelry,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Or real estate.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So those jobs are still good too because they pay the bills, and
Yeah.
you know, you have to learn. Especially, I'm a millennial. I'm an elder millennial, so you have to put art in whatever you're doing, even if it's a menial task, because you need to have some sort of outlet. So the way that if I'm going to set up for lunch for a whole, production, and I'm going to set up 12 tables with one person's help and all these chairs, we're going to do it artfully. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it nicely. We're going to do it in a way that makes sense.
We shall dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a symphony. It'll be a symphony.
Another shoemaker will.
Yeah. So you're always looking for stuff like that. But then also, you're always as a PA, you're kind of just helping out. So
Yeah.
I'm always what a friend of mine said, to be a PA, you need to be a shadow and you need to be a beacon at the same time.
Whoa.
Like Batman shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you wanna both fade into the background and also be right freaking there with whatever they need. So it's really fun.
You
because
literally are Batman.
well, kind of. I am the Dark Knight. It's just every job is different, and every time they need something different. And I've been on some weird, wild goose. Like one time, an art department needed a pitch pipe, like one of those ones that you blow
Yeah.
into and go ding.
Okay.
But because of cell phones, those have really not been made for years regularly anymore. So I had to call a million places and drive to a million places and music shops that would actually have an old school blow into it circly pitch pipe. So that took a whole afternoon once. And I had to race back to the film set to get it back. I don't even remember what ad that was for, but I had to race back to get it for it. And it was just fun. It's like I'm literally driving all over Seattle through rush hour to find a pitch pipe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those things are fun. Those things are fun. So yeah, but yeah. Anyway, to circle back to that question, I think that time on the boat, that was a fun time. I loved that.
That sounds so
that's
awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, I think for me, like anything sci-fi, it's
Dude,
like I'm
yeah.
there.
It was great, yeah. Because also specifically the art department, the props. Because when you're doing real sci-fi, you're obviously doing a lot of CG stuff.
Yeah.
And these guys do some amazing.
Do you remember
just
what the story
mind-blowing.
kind of was?
It's an interesting story, but it's very, very far future sci-fi. So it's like, I don't even want to spoil anything. I can't really tell you. But it's nice. It's nice because
Is it
it's
out yet?
yeah, you can watch the first 4 episodes. So I'll make sure you guys get it
Okay.
because it is amazing CGI.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Wow.
And they tie it into the actual props they're using so well that it looks so realistic. It's mind blowing.
What streaming service is it on?
The episodes are on YouTube.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah. They're accessible. They're accessible.
Okay.
So the ones that I helped shoot aren't even out yet because obviously this time takes like a year.
Yeah, yeah,
post-processing. Yeah. So, but the first episodes are so cool and they do some cool stuff. So I'll make sure to link that.
Heck
to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll
Super
we'll
cool.
shout them out as soon as we get the link.
But then, the flip side of that, I can talk about a Chex commercial. I did a national Chex campaign where it was like, the bagel chip is back, and it was Sir Mix-a-Lot, and it was so fun.
Awesome.
And Sir Mix-a-Lot
Well,
was
he's
a
from
really
here,
nice
He's
guy.
like
Yeah,
right up the
he's
street.
Seattle
Yeah.
based. So he gave us all jobs because he didn't want to leave Seattle. And fine by me.
Yeah,
So,
dude,
yeah.
that's money.
So we made the Chex pieces that are 20 feet high, and had the dancers all up around them. Oh, it was so cool.
Dude,
That's
They rented out a studio in Fremont,
Okay.
down on the water in Fremont. There's a big studio there.
Fremont
what it's
Studios.
Yeah. I think it's just called Fremont Studios.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a huge studio space, and they had probably 4 or 5 different sets going, and then the art department
Wow.
was huge, and they were moving fast, and that was a fun one. So that one I can talk about because that that was an ad campaign that already happened.
That's sweet.
That's kind of
Yeah.
dope. Okay.
Yeah, that was a fun time, and it was that was when I was still the first year I was doing it, so I was learning fast at that point.
Grabbing what you could and
Yeah, exactly.
running with it.
Yeah, because
Damn.
it's always when you're on a film set. Sometimes some random person will shout something, and then as a PA, you're like, "Okay, I'll do that," and then you realize, "What is that? What did they just say?
What
What
did
were
he
the
just
words
say?"
that they just?" But then you find out and you do it.
You just ask someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
What's a
exactly.
rundown?
exactly.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
a
yeah.
rundown?
But it is it's fast paced all the time. Big or
Yeah.
small, it's always fast paced. So it's a fun way to learn.
That's how we live. Run and gun,
Exactly.
baby.
yeah,
Run and gun.
yeah.
What's your inspiration?
Generally speaking,
I mean, with film. What is, why are you in this? What inspired you and what still inspires you?
I think it was when I was a little kid, I would always, for some reason, I was always kind of fixated on movies. So when I was like 7 years old, and we would go to Blockbuster, because that's the age that I am.
I went to Blockbuster.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
we went to
yeah.
All right.
Blockbuster.
I went to
Yeah.
like
So-
Hollywood.
Hollywood Video.
Hollywood,
yeah.
A little bit cheaper.
Better
Um,
memberships.
But yeah, so when I was 7, I would come back and we would have our movie that we rented, and then I would literally get pieces of notebook paper and I would draw tickets out and I would cut them out and I would force my family to give those tickets back to me as they entered the living room before we watched it that evening, and I would tear it in half and I would give them half back.
Fair
and
is
they would
fair.
take it because they had to. Yeah. So I've just always kind of romanticized it ever since I was a little kid. And then, obviously when you're a teenager, you have everyone has kind of a moment where your brain is growing real fast, and then suddenly movies are starting to hit different. So
You
I would
understand
see,
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and they would be a bit more eye-opening to you. So I would see like The Matrix was in
Yeah.
'99. That was when I was in high school. That was a perfect time to blow my mind. It was perfect, or stuff like that.
I
Where
was 5.
exactly, there you go. But with horror specifically, I love horror and
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead, the old
yeah.
original
Okay.
1968 George A. Romero.
I know
classic.
you for horror. That's
Yeah.
what I know you
Yeah.
for.
So that was an awakening I had that that I'm still having, obviously, because there's just content forever. So
I think all your projects were leaning horror.
a little bit
leaning.
it's good to have. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
No,
Yeah,
I
but
think
what
it
do
was
you like?
great.
What kind of horror is your favorite though?
I've really been liking Ari Aster lately. The slow burn,
The trauma dumps.
kind of trauma dumps, yeah. But,
Okay.
but specifically the style of not jump scares.
Yeah.
Slashers.
You're past that.
Those are all fun, and I love watching 70s, 80s, 90s stuff like
You've
that.
It's more
Sophisticated
background at
yourself.
this
Yeah.
point.
But stuff like Hereditary or what's the other?
Midsommar. Yeah. He just did the Beau is Afraid.
Yeah, which I need to see
Yeah.
still. I haven't seen that.
I haven't watched it.
But it's kind of, to be honest, the slow burn horror is kind of going back. It's not like a new thing or anything, but it's definitely something that harkens more to a
Yeah.
a Kubrick Shining feeling, where you stuff's happening and you can just feel it building, and you're just like, you don't need the jump scares.
The
because that's
tension's
where
so
it's at.
high you don't know when it will.
Exactly. That's what I really like.
Have you watched Babadook?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, we just watched it for
Freaking
Halloween.
crazy.
dude.
That
Yeah.
movie's
That's
crazy.
A good one. That's
You know what's
good.
crazy is it's all psychological. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of it.
Mm-hmm. But that can be scarier than
Anything.
when I see
Well, that's
gory.
real
When I
stuff.
see
That's
like,
It's real.
I guess that's real.
Yeah.
when I see The Thing or something, I love the gore, but it's not like scary. It's fun.
No.
Yeah.
When you see people's heads explode in
Well, it's
scanners
comical.
or something, and it
Most
like- it's like
expensive
it's-
shot
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
That's why I can watch like David Cronenberg films, because you've got some weird crap. Body
Is that the
horror
one
going
with
on.
the one where he like mutates and his gun becomes a part of him?
that one's called
Guns Akimbo.
Videodrome.
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 We had
with,
to watch this in film school. This is by the guy he's talking about. Who's the actor? I cannot remember.
James Woods.
James Woods.
Yeah.
James
James
Woods.
freaking Woods.
James
Yeah.
freaking Woods.
Yeah, who used to have a Family Guy high school named after him.
Yeah. But this guy,
James Woods
like,
High.
Yeah.
he mixes like horror and tech
Mm-hmm.
kind of, and so like it's mutated together. So it's like a very Rick and Morty episode, but that's his style.
Cronenberg
Interesting,
started doing
okay.
it in the 80s, but it was specifically like the way that we interact with technology and the way that technology becomes a part of us.
Like,
And
but
it
he
was
biomech
yeah,
horror.
yeah, because his bony hand now has a gun as a part of it, and it's all fleshy and fucking
It's
weird and gooey.
gross and like gooey.
Yeah,
and, like,
so it's gross. So it's always got that, but it's also it's definitely a commentary on where we're going. And to be honest,
The mesh
that was before we even had smartphones in our hand all the
Yeah.
time. It was in the 80s.
This was in the 80s.
So that was kind of ahead of its time as far as now we're kind of
Okay.
we always have technology attached to us, so it's the analogy.
well, and the
of that,
tech
yeah.
ends up making him do something.
Yeah.
And that's the point of
Oh, that's why.
it. It's like it meshes with him and becomes disgusting and then makes him do something.
Here's one
Ew.
advice:
Yeah.
is never watch a David Cronenberg film with your mom.
Yeah.
Never
and
do that.
or a significant other that is not aware
Yeah.
that Cronenberg is who
that's
he
what's
is.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see it.
you have to prime that pump.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those are the fun ones.
I'm gonna need a
sometimes.
list of those movies. Like that's
Yeah, me
sounds
too.
kind of wild.
David Lynch, anything by David Lynch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know
Cool,
how
cool, cool.
there's kind of a fad almost on the internet right now of liminal spaces, where a liminal space is a space where you can where you look at or you're in it and you kind of feel like you're in between two different places, and it feels weird and off and strange, and you don't really
Like I'm in
understand
two
the space.
multiverses at one point.
Yeah. So that's what David Lynch creates, liminal spaces. He even with just literally just audio editing, David Lynch particularly is really good at creating a weird atmosphere in your brain.
It
Interesting.
like separates it and hits you
Yeah.
with both sides, basically.
His first movie is this
And then
weird.
the character's the center point, so it's like
His first movie is a weird black and white movie called Eraserhead.
Ugh.
Very strange, but it's there at one point I think there's a sound of like a pencil being drug across paper or something, and it's the loudest,
And it's
weirdest sound you've
slow
ever
and-
heard.
yeah.
Oh,
And
what
it's
the
part of
fuck?
the universe. Yeah, it's very interesting. He plays with audio in a way
Yeah.
that is.
His soundscaping is
Sounds fun.
amazing.
I feel like I feel like I'm rambling about movies now. I feel like
Welcome
I'm
to
doing it.
Weirdly Artistic.
Okay,
No,
good.
that's
Okay,
fine.
good.
Because I'm interested. Like, I want to
No,
hear
yeah,
more.
I wanna
Like,
hear
Yeah. Yeah,
I think we
there's
can
lots
run with
there.
that for a little bit, because next is advice. Do you really want to give people advice yet?
I mean,
Believe.
just generally speaking, just like especially if you're in the industry, if you're in the film industry, just literally treat everyone like they could be your next break,
Yep.
because you need to know
Ooh.
people, and if you're nice, just in general, say you're on a crew of 50 people, and you make an effort, even though you're tired, you got 4 hours of sleep, and you're on 2 Red Bulls, and you just would really rather not be standing in the rain right now. You still put on that face, you mask it up a little bit, and you're like, a pleasant
here.
person to work with. Yeah. If you do that all the time and you just make that your habit, then if there's one person that you don't get along with on this 50 people line, and that one person just kind of grinds you the wrong way, which just happens because it's
It
the world
happens.
sometimes. Yeah.
happens.
Sometimes that'll happen, and then depending on when that person is, whether they're above the line or below, it can be more annoying or less. But then if you do that, if you just are generally trying to be that way just throughout your life when you're working, then the other 49 people are like, oh yeah, Dusty, he's a good guy. So that's where it stops.
That's all you need.
Yeah, and that's happened on film sets where I've just one person, maybe someone that I'm working with, the PA or something, just a little bit off. I don't quite get along with them. Then it's always just put it out there. Always just try to be a pleasant person to work with, because it's
Well, I mean,
so
you
nice
just-
to.
Some people just don't want to like see anyone succeed.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people are just sour, and that's just that.
Some people like to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
It's been a really nice discovery that I've been doing all these gigs in the Seattle area, and for the most part, they've been with really good people, and they've been with
That's
people
good.
that care about you and want you to succeed and want to be there. Because
Yeah.
when you're working retail or food service,
Nobody wants to be there.
Nobody wants to be there, and that's what happens.
Well, it's all they
Yeah.
have.
Well, that's where all the Karens go. So
Yeah, exactly. So I should be clear. In between when I was a photojournalist and when I was working in this industry, I managed pot shops. So I have some retail experience there. And there was one point where I literally this was in Seattle, I had a Karen call 911 because we overcharged her for a joint by $4.
Oh,
What?
She
My
literally
love.
called emergency services. They ignored her, obviously. But
Good.
that happened.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was getting close to the end where I was like, I can't.
I can't do this
I am exiting
anymore.
this.
Yeah.
Retail is terrible.
Yeah.
You
This
just
is
get the-
killing
you-
me.
You get the worst of the worst. That reminds me, because like I worked at a pot shop a while ago, and we had a customer come in, and I wasn't the one who helped them, but they asked for a indica, and they got like a 60-40 sativa.
Yeah.
It's like something still. They came back and wanted their money back because they were up for 3 days, and I was like, dude, how?
The brain is a very powerful organ.
Yeah.
And
I
was
try
just
to
like,
placebo myself.
I've never
all the
felt
time.
more disrespected in my life, and we were just like, bro, what? Like,
And these, if you really look into the science as much as you can, literally all weed is a hybrid at this point. It's very rarely that nothing's just kind of in the middle.
A mix of whatever.
And if you're talking
That's-
about
I've heard that.
60-40, those growers can just make that stuff up.
See,
Yeah.
okay, I've
You
heard
know?
that they just hire people to like smoke it, and then they're
Yeah.
like, "How do you feel?" "Oh, I feel this." "Okay, it's
But
a
see,
sativa or
it's-
like whatever."
So it's subjective, right? But there's no real way you can get around that, because even if you grow a stable strain that you grow all the time, each phenotype can be different. So you can randomly have a different strain pop up, and it suddenly smokes like an indica when it's usually a sativa. It
Yeah,
happens
mine
all the
is
time. So it can happen. So you literally have to find people that are
and
actually
I've
good
told people that
stoners.
I'm like, honestly, like
Jeez.
nothing is ever straight. Anything, it's just
Yeah,
it's-
everything's a hybrid. Unless it's,
whatever.
if you hear the phrase land race, that usually means it's supposedly they're saying it's a pure like either indica or sativa. But those are more and more rare. Like I'm using my bud tender knowledge now. The
That's
Durban
okay.
poison is a one that I still see out there. Durban poison apparently is a land race where it's a pure
Interesting,
sativa.
okay.
So there's a handful out there. But
Those are,
even
like,
those, that's
pure.
only if you trust the grower and they're actually telling the truth.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
love that.
Well, I think we hop into the weirdly here.
Well,
Okay,
I'm actually
alright.
like curious. Like, what's your dream
Oh yes.
project? Like, what would be the project itself, and what would be your function in that project?
Interesting. Well, speaking with where I'm at now, with currently, I would just love to get a feature, just a feature-length fictional thing, because they don't happen in Washington very often, but they do happen very rarely, very occasionally, for right now. But to be honest, I've just been kind of thinking that I'm going to be the kind of person that does the work that I need to do, and then expresses myself however I can there, and then just have the disposable income to just make personal projects, because being part of such a big machine is very different than making your own little thing. And unless you get, big budget backing, you're not going to be able to make anything like the thing that you want unless you just
Or
do
it takes
yourself.
you years to get it set up.
Exactly. Which, you can always, that can always be a goal, and you can always go for it, but, it's harder.
Oh, it's way harder.
So I've just
Super
always
hard.
pictured myself just expressing myself just when I have some money, when I have some time off. Like, for instance, the winter's slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Well,
Seattle.
you know where to
yeah.
find us now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'll be around.
Yes.
We're
Come,
here.
come
Yeah.
and join us.
Get weirdly with us.
Get
Yeah,
weird.
I'm going to get weirdly.
Yes. Okay. We kind of answered. I mean, we'll go with the current favorite show / movie. Like, what are you currently jumping into right now?
Favorite show / movie. We always, my partner and I, Danny, always want to have, a good, funny thing that we're going
Okay.
through. We always want a good, funny, quick
Good
thing.
vibes.
So we're finding the old shows that are solid and repeatable.
Yes.
So right now we're actually going through Arrested Development.
Awesome.
That's a good one.
Because
That's a good one.
When that came out, it was actually still pretty fresh for the format that it was.
Yeah.
It
I
wasn't
love
repeated
Will
on
Arnett
Snapchat.
in that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was talking about Will Arnett earlier, and it made me think of that. That's just such a perfect kind of show because it's got 10,000 jokes a minute.
It's so awkward. I love it.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Michael Cera.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
Loving his cousin,
Good
dude. It's like,
Yeah,
what the hell?
that's where Michael Cera cultivated his whole persona that he
His
used in
character.
10,000 other films. The
Yeah,
the
he's-
awkward kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I heard this, like, I saw a meme once, and it was like, Michael Cera is the type of person that, like, he's not actually an actor. He just showed up to a set one time and just couldn't
And got
say
too
no.
nervous to say
Yeah,
no.
he got too nervous to say no.
It's perfect.
And it's just like, that's how he feels.
Yeah,
in
every
movies.
time.
One of his favorite roles is a supporting role, but it's in This Is the End. You see
Yes.
that
Yes.
episode? Oh,
Yes, dude.
That's
Oh,
one of
it's
my
in my
favorite
pocket.
little sippy sip.
Yeah. Where he plays such a douchebag.
So good.
Oh, I love it. That's
Has
a fun
anyone seen
movie.
my phone? Oh, it's in my pocket.
Channing Tatum's
Yeah.
dressed up as a sex dog.
That's a movie that's got so
Oh,
much in it.
dude.
Like I watched that. Once
Why
a
is
year or
Danny
two.
That's a good
McBride
movie.
such a douche in every movie?
Yeah.
Oh, he's great
Yeah,
in
he's-
that
I
one.
love Danny McBride.
I
but,
do
like,
too.
That's his typecast. That's his thing. He's that.
He is the
Land of the Lost.
high
Danny
confidence.
McBride.
And I love it. This is the end where he's just making breakfast and he just.
Yep. That's such a good sequence. It's such a good sequence.
He's amazing.
Oh my god, I love that.
I
that
love-
was
yeah.
that was my favorite.
Mhm.
That movie's so good. It's so funny.
Definitely. What about music? Favorite music? you
Music
listen-
now. Everyone's doing the Spotify thing right now, so
Yep.
I use Google, YouTube Music,
Okay.
so I can do the same thing. But it's not Spotify. But it's the same thing. But so I've been getting into metal in a way where
Okay.
I've actually avoided it when I was a little bit younger because I didn't want to be the huge. I'm a large person. I didn't want to be the big dude that likes metal that scares everybody.
Same.
So I kind of avoided it, to be honest, because I didn't want to be that toxic version of things, and I didn't want to have that be my personality that other people would see, just because I don't want to be a toxic person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm not saying
That's a
metal
good way
is
to be.
toxic. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I kind of shied away from it. But now I've been kind of having this renaissance. And
Embrace
now,
the toxicity.
I get the 2023 results back, and I'm like, Meshuggah. You guys know Meshuggah?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, we just saw them at the Paramount in Seattle, downtown
huge.
Seattle.
That's
It was
kinda
the
dope.
greatest show. It was this ornate old theater with all these intricate patterns on the wall, and then just the loudest, heaviest metal
There we
with this
go.
awesome light. Oh,
Yeah.
it was so good.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Meshuggah's
I-
pretty heavy. Yeah.
yeah. That's who I've been really going for lately. But if someone is a metal listener and they've heard of Meshuggah,
Oh yeah.
so I want to recommend someone else that I really liked. It was like number 4 on the thing, which is this German band. I think they're from
Let's
Germany.
go.
They're called Gnome,
No.
G-N-O-M-E, one word. Gnome.
Okay.
Well, they have
boys.
2
Yeah,
albums.
just like no.
Like a lawn mown.
Yeah.
There's
Gnome.
yeah, exactly.
Gnome.
No, literally.
Yeah.
They're if you can look them up online, and then when they play, they literally wear the little red cone hats.
That's
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
awesome.
So they're 3 German dudes that wear the cone hats and just play like just awesome riffage, just really good riffy metal. and they
I
have
love
really
that.
good senses of
I'm
humor.
gonna check them out on my way
Yeah.
home.
So that's what I want. I want people to listen to
No.
because
No.
I want them to tour. I want them to come to Seattle. That'd be such a
sick,
good
dude.
show. Yeah.
Maybe we
so-
can get on videoing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
exactly.
go.
Like a
Exactly.
recap.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Favorite superhero or villain, or you
Ever.
can do both. If you like a villain more, whatever.
Well, I'd have to go with villain because I have Nosferatu
You
tattooed
do.
on my forearm,
You do.
like a I don't know 11-inch, like
Yeah.
up my forearm.
You
like
mean
a
it's like
navy
your
tattoo.
entire forearm?
Yeah.
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 There we go.
So it's
Right there.
I found this really good artist named Chris in Magnolia, in Seattle, and he has kind of a specific style because I was just kind of like,
I like the
I
high
want-
contrast for sure.
yeah, exactly. I wanted only black ink, black and gray.
Well, it's a black and white film.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And what's funny is he used a tiny little bit of white for the teeth, for the little
I
vampire
love
teeth.
that.
Oh.
Yeah, they do stick
Which
out.
he didn't
Make 'em
even tell
pop
me
out.
about that until I
Yeah.
saw it later. I was like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, he's my favorite villain. He's classic. You know, when I got the tattoo last year, it was for the 100th anniversary. So it, you
Yeah.
know, that
Heck
is
yeah.
film
The
history.
live action is
Yeah.
going to be so
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, the Robert
Oh
Eggers
my
flick.
gosh.
When is that coming out?
Oh, 25 probably.
Oh, okay.
It might be
Maybe
24.
24.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Movie night.
Have you guys seen Robert Eggers' other stuff?
Yeah.
The Lighthouse is a trip.
I got a lot of movies to watch.
It's
now.
Lighthouse
such a
is
trip.
wild.
It's so,
Oh.
I haven't
Willem
seen.
Dafoe and Robert
that's-
Pattinson.
That's the one that
It's based on like it's a mental health thing where it's talking about like the man, I watched it a while ago, but it's basically like the overwork and the longevity of their job.
what
just
year is that
isolation and delirium.
Yeah. It's like
What
It's
year is
5
that
years
from?
ago, maybe.
uh,
it's
yeah,
fairly
maybe
recent.
2019,
We need,
2020.
a
okay.
we need a movie list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just need to give us a
So
PDF file,
Robert
please.
Eggers. He also did The Witch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A24.
Which is a very
I know
exactly.
The Vivitch.
So when I say about Ari Aster and the slow burn horror, Robert Eggers is included in that,
Yeah.
and he's also just very good at that kind of creating a warped sense of space time. Like just when you watch The Lighthouse, you can feel like because of the editing and because of everything,
It
you can feel like you're
draws.
in there with him. You're going crazy with him.
The Witch is
Yeah.
probably my favorite horror film.
We
Ever.
need a
It's
horror
one of the
witch.
it's one of the creepiest I've ever seen.
But it's not.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
It's not. They
What?
don't show you that much, but the way
Mhm.
that they do it, it's beautiful.
It's
like
the mood, it's the tone.
you understand everything. So it's these pilgrims that are moving across the country.
I think you've told me about
Yeah.
this one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
gotta
so they
watch
believe
it.
that there are witches in the woods. And that's as much as I'm going to tell you. But you got to watch it. We
I
watched it
haven't-
at your house, I remember,
Yep,
in
yep,
college.
there you
Yeah,
go.
down in the basement.
I haven't seen it yet, but he also did a movie about Vikings called The Northman that I really need to see. Yeah.
That
I
sounds
think
like I've
it's
heard
streaming
that.
somewhere. Yeah.
The Dark Blade, you're going to love it. It's
Yeah.
so good.
So I'm gonna enjoy that.
Nightblade,
But
sorry.
so this guy, he
Nightblade.
has a reputation for that good kind of atmospheric horror
Mhm.
that which is what Nosferatu is from back in the day. It was atmospheric horror. So he's got
That's
a really
why it's
good
still
reputation.
scary to this day.
Yeah, exactly. So I have high hopes
I do
for
too.
this Robert Eggers version.
I actually never watched Nosferatu.
You should. They make a SpongeBob reference.
Well, I
Remember
know.
they're like
Yeah,
flicking
yeah.
the lights, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Who's doing that?" And then it's Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
He's like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
know, I know.
That was
But
a
I've
moment-
never like actually like watched
didn't
it.
know
Like
that.
I don't.
It's, you know, it's fun because that I'm just gonna get into film history mode
Go.
now.
Do
But you know, that was 1922. That was kind of the genesis of the vampire.
1922.
Mhm.
That's when it's
That
from.
was
Yeah.
that was the genesis of the
it's
vampire.
amazing still to this
Like,
day.
There were stage adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula before that on the stage in like New York and places
Uh-huh.
like that, but there had never been really any vampire media before that. So Count
It's like
Orlok,
the Godzilla of our country is,
Yeah.
The,
is
um,
Nosferatu.
literally
Orlok.
when they wrote it, they couldn't get the rights from Bram Stoker's widow for the book. So basically what happened was they made the movie anyway. They just changed the names. They changed the way he looked a bit from the book, and then they ripped it off. They changed a few details. But then Bram Stoker's widow sued their pants off. And so this movie, this wonderful early horror movie, was
Amazing
literally
adaptation.
just banned and was
What?
they tried to destroy every copy. And yeah, because it was illegally made and they didn't want it dispersed in the United States.
They could
or
have
in
just
Europe.
claimed spoof.
Well, yeah, but that was before. That was when
It was
copyright
before it all happened.
copyright
yeah.
law was young there.
Yeah.
And
Was
there's
just
a
happening.
whole separate podcast could be just literally on only Disney changing copyright laws in the
Mhm.
last 100 years.
We'll talk about the ownership of Mickey.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
Mm.
Crazy.
I think you've told me.
I told you a little bit about
that,
it. When we were in college, it was, I think they were about to buy the 100th year.
Yep.
And so basically they like set it up to where it's just shut down, and then they buy it, and then it's reset for like another 25 years.
They're working the system to change copyright law.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
So they basically just extend it so that everything that they make is never open to the public.
Because Mickey Mouse should have been public domain decades
50
ago.
years ago.
Decades ago.
50 years ago.
Yeah.
But they keep extending the law.
because they want that money.
That's
And you
Disney
got
is
lawyers, you got money.
changing the rules.
Yeah, they're literally changing the whole copyright industry single-handedly. That company.
no. Okay, I've
It's
heard
messed up.
stuff.
It's messed up.
I've heard stuff about
It's
it, but
dark.
I didn't know it was like that
Yeah.
that bad.
No, they are in control.
Yep, they are the overlords.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the Sith.
Why do you think Mickey has the
They're
Infinity
Wow.
Gauntlet?
In like South Park, bro, they make Mickey out to like look like such a
He's
dick.
evil.
He is. Imagine he's 120 years old.
Yeah, bro.
That boy had slaves. Like that's not even a joke. Like that's when that stuff was starting.
Oh my god, yeah, no, like South Park really had it on the nose then.
Yeah. No. Mickey's a dick.
Yeah.
Mickey is a dick.
God.
They always like turn him into a demon. I love it.
Hilarious.
Jedi or Sith?
You see, now I'd like to be the cool guy that says like, yeah, no, black robe, red saber, but I'm just a bit of a goody-goody. So
That's good.
I think I'm always going to be on the Jedi side.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who would you choose as a Jedi?
Ooh, I don't know. Well, I'm the original trilogy from the starting in the I'm not that old, but the 70s. That's always what my brain goes to first. So, and I love all the new stuff too. I really do.
We do as well.
I have a good time.
Cinematically.
7,
8, and 9.
It's just
Cinematically.
yeah.
Cinematically.
Okay.
Listen,
Wait,
dude,
no,
I even like the prequels. Like
Oh,
I'm entertained.
Oh,
by
Okay,
them.
those are
I
those
Yeah.
love
are
those.
that's
They're
all we
fun.
love.
Yeah,
God.
exactly.
those are great.
You
Those
know,
are my
I like
favorites.
all the Star Wars movies, even the new ones, even the old ones. Like, it's just fun. It's storytelling. It's in a different world, and it's great.
No, and me and
So-
Nick were talking about it. I mean, like cinematically, yeah, they were all
7, 8, 9 were amazing.
They were like, I mean, cinematically, yes,
Visually beautiful.
great, everything. Just the story itself is
the same.
where it fell apart.
I get
for
that
me.
too.
Kid on a desolate
Like the
planet
end
with the
of,
force powers.
Yeah.
Like the end of Game
Let's
of
repeat it.
Thrones. The end of Game of
Oh,
Thrones, where it was still
God.
kind of a spectacle, and you still enjoyed the spectacle of it, but it was just so rushed and
Like,
writing was
dude.
just.
It was.
You
That's
should have
kind of
given
how
us
the,
2 more seasons
Yeah.
at least.
That's kind of, but it's just so much money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
One,
So
everyone wants it now.
So I did have that feeling of of number 9, of just feeling like I don't know, I don't feel very. I don't know if this
Completed.
Is, I don't. Yeah, I don't know if this
Yeah.
has made me feel good as a Star Wars person, but like
Yeah.
I'm good at just letting that go, because
You have to.
because 10,000 people worked on those movies and they worked hard.
Well, it
Yeah.
was kind of
Yeah.
like what Trey said. It was like I either like it or I don't, and that's it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's it.
exactly, and that's fair, and that's fair.
Yeah.
So, who would be your Jedi? Who would you choose?
I feel like Mace Windu because I like purple a lot.
Ooh.
There we
to be
go.
honest. I just like
I like
purple.
Mace.
A little bit of the outlaw.
Yeah, like he's on the
Good.
council.
Good,
I
but
wish
dabbles.
we could have gotten like a
Yeah.
lot more of them.
Yeah, like he's on the scale, but he's still on the Jedi side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just
Okay.
lean. He
That's-
dabbles,
Yeah.
which is fine.
He fucks around. He finds out.
Yeah.
A little
You
bit.
know,
So I think that kind of
his
answers
lightsaber
the.
is rated E for everyone.
Yeah.
That's the lightsaber color. You choose
Yeah.
purple, probably.
Given the, I'd go pink. I want a nice bright pink because then you think it's just like it's a light version of red. So, but it's not. So it's just. I think I'd want to be a nice pink
Pretty sick.
lightsaber. I think it
Yeah.
would look great.
I think it would too. Can you
Yeah.
imagine the reflections on the face?
I
when
wish
Yeah.
I had mine
Fire it
here
up.
so
Could show him. Yeah, Jordan got a
I
really
think I look
nice.
good in pink. That would be good
We
lighting.
both got
on
nice
face. Yeah.
lightsabers this year.
Nice. Good.
It's so fun.
I love it. Well, Dusty, do you want to say anything else to someone, the people that are, chasing this dream or looking to jump into the film industry? Is there any piece of advice that you would end with?
I mean, to be honest, it really is just about who you know, and it's a terrible, terrible thing to hear when you're a young
Yeah.
person because you can work as hard as you can, but if you don't meet the right people, you're not going to go anywhere.
But on the
it's
other
So
both.
be
side-
nice.
Like you said earlier, just
Be nice.
be open to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
to opportunities.
Mhm.
Like
If you're always
like you
looking for
said,
stuff,
be-
stuff will come along.
do your best. Like show up and do 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you care about, if someone looks at you and they see what you're doing and they can tell that you give a shit, that will go a long way.
Yeah.
And that's how I've got contacts within G&E and art departments that I've worked with, where I will do a job as a PA, and they'll see me, and they'll see what I'm doing, and they'll see the stuff I'm moving around and how I'm helping, and then I'll get an email or a text or a call from them like 6 weeks later, and they'll say, "Hey, I have this project. Do you want to assist the art department here?" And I'll be like, "Hell yeah, I
yes,
do."
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's exactly what you're doing. So that's just, you just, always dance like someone's watching, but in the way where,
Or like
be
no
proud
one's
of what
watching.
you're doing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Be proud of what you're doing. Don't half-ass. And retail, food service, that's different. Half-ass those things.
Yeah.
Because our economy sucks.
You know what my
Capitalism
dad always told me?
sucks. What?
Stay weird.
Stay
Stay
weird.
Weirdly, we're the artistic. Weirdly, we're the artistic.
Damn, that's weird.